At the minute, due to the current situation, obviously, I can't go out to local schools to explain to the students what opportunities there are, but this is a way of making sure that people get that information.
So tell us, what are the opportunities on the Babcock Apprenticeship scheme?
Okay, we have a number of apprentices on site at the minute. We're into our 5th year selection now, so they can work potentially on the aircraft on the flight line, so that's working directly with the aircraft with the pilots as they arrive and leave for their flight. They can also work in one of the hangars, actually working on the aircraft, repairing, maintaining, getting into the guts of the aircraft basically. We also have apprentices in our armament section, so they deal with ejection seats and so forth. Our survival equipment section, we deal with flight suits. We also have an adore bay, so we've got apprentices in there. So there's a wide variety of options for people here. It's not specifically just on aircraft, although obviously it is mainly engineering that we deal with.
For me, the best thing about my job is being given a particularly challenging task. And just because I get quite a lot of job satisfaction from knowing that I've completed a particularly tricky task to a good standard.
On the line, we interact with the aircrew every day. We see the customer, we know what we're doing, and it's a very good feeling doing the checks before the flight and seeing the aircrew fly off. And when the aircraft come back in, see them after the flight, they had a great flight. Oh, it's a great feeling talking to the aircrew and knowing what they've been doing, the air combat and stuff like that.
The best thing about my job is coming into work knowing I'm not going to be doing the same thing as what I did yesterday. So there's no repetition, it's constantly something different. Inspections, actually stripping the jet, building it back together, it's constantly changing, and that's the best thing about it.
I look forward to coming into work because it's an exciting job, and I mean it's quite cool to say you're an aircraft engineer basically.
Well, when I came here, I didn't expect the wide variety of jobs and how different departments rely on each other so much for the place to run. So, for example, you have the line over there, people seeing the aircraft in and out and doing basic servicings.
Once you start working here, you're quite nervous. It's a new environment, there's a lot going on. If you ask the question, everyone's here to help and we'll get you learning straight away.
Here in T2 Depth, we service the aircraft.
It's just how close you get into the servicing, how detailed you get into the job. So when you see these flying in the air, you think, wow, I'm actually working inside those jets, and I wasn't expecting that at all, to be honest.
Rectifications, they deal with emergent work, so you know, they find a snag, they fix it and it goes out.
I wasn't expecting there to be so many different components or jobs which need doing just to keep one of them flying basically.
Basically every single department really relies on each other, and if one fails then you sort of lose that. So it's really good to see that interconnection.
Really don't want to do school for like another 4 years, so why don't I just go to college and do engineering, which I enjoy. And I found out about this apprenticeship because one of my friends was on his first year here, and yeah, so I went to college studying engineering to hope to get onto this, and once I applied for it I got accepted, and yeah, it kind of just went from there.
And then on my last year at college they told me, oh, there's an apprenticeship scheme opening up at RAF Valley with Babcock's, and I applied, and then luckily enough I got it, and from then on I've just been working here since.
When I was in school I found I had an affinity for maths and science, but at the same time I found I excelled more in a practical setting, so I learned much better doing things with my hands rather than reading from textbooks. So engineering is basically the practical application of maths and science, so I thought it was the perfect job for me. If someone was interested in pursuing a career at RAF Valley, my advice to them would be do your best in school, get your GCSEs, particularly in maths, science and English.
The job is amazing. You don't get many jobs when you're working on military aircraft when you're a civilian like myself. The job's very pleasing, rewarding, and a lot of my mates are jealous of my job, so I'd say go for it.
The apprenticeship scheme itself is brilliant. They give you loads of chances and they want you to develop as an engineer. So I finished my apprenticeship, and they've also invested in me to go further to do more college work as well. So they just don't give you an apprenticeship and stop. They think about you as well. so they carry on thinking this could be a good opportunity for them.
I mean, you've got to focus in college and really showing it. If you just show an interest in engineering and show that you're keen, then the rest will follow basically with your hand skills. They can always be developed, but yeah, if you just show Babcocks or any of the teachers that you're keen, and there's extracurricular subjects like theory of flight, you show an interest in that, then there is a good chance that you can really make it on this.
Honestly, it's achievable for anyone. I myself was a music student initially, and then I went on to pursue engineering. And yeah, if you're someone who enjoys, like me, doing things practically and working with your hands, then it's perfect.
Okay, the key thing to getting onto the Babcock Apprentice programme is actually holding a BTEC Level 3 in Aeronautical Engineering, and locally, like Menai based in Prentisiaid, have now started offering that course. So to get on that course, it's really important that the pupils actually get good GCSE grades, so we must have C grades in maths, English and science. That will then allow them to get onto the programme at Coleg Menai. They spend 2 years full-time studying aeronautical engineering, being offered work experience by us here at RAF Valley, doing courses with us and getting to know us, and during that time then they become eligible for selection to the programme. So to get on that, they just need to go to the Coleg Menai website and actually just apply through their system.